judges who we usually rely on to provide oversight of police investigations, according to ACLU. While a specific device or manufacturer name did not come up during the proceedings, the ACLU indicated that the technology was likely a Stingray made by the Florida-based Harris Corporation. As known as cell site simulators, Stingrays impersonated a cell phone tower, prompting phones within a range that revealed their precise locations, information, and about the calls and text messages they send and receive. When use, Stingrays sweep up information about innocent people and criminal suspects alike, ACLU said. The ACLU noted that the use of similar technology is increasing among law enforcement agencies throughout the nation. Unfortunately, whether the police obtain warrants in every case is unknown. Public records on 125 agencies in 33 states obtained by USA Today, Gannett, and various television news stations revealed widespread use of the technology in a USA Today piece late last year. At least 25 police departments own a Stingray, a suitcase-sized device that costs as much as $400,000 and acts like a fake cell tower. The system typically installed in a vehicle so it can move into any neighborhood, trick all nearby phones into connecting it to feeding the data to police. In some states, the devices are available to any local police department via surveillance unit. The federal government funds most of the purchases via anti-terror grants. About 1 of 4 law enforcement agencies have used a tactical known as a tower dump, which gives police data about the identity, activity, and location of any phone that connects to the target cell phone tower over a set span of time, usually an hour or two. A typical dump covers multiple towers and wireless providers and can net information from thousands of phones. 36 or more police agencies refuse to say whether they've used either tactic. Most deny public records requests, arguing that criminals or terrorists could use the information and thought important crime fighting and surveillance techniques. Well, I have to say this, my fellow police officers. Are you considered a terrorist, allegedly speaking? ACLU officials say they are using the Florida case to gain more information about how and when the devices are used to track cell phones at agencies nationwide. Potentially, the unconstitutional government surveillance on this scale should not remain hidden from the public or just because a private corporation desires a secrecy, and it certainly not be concealed from judges, the group said. Okay. Well, this is like in my state, so I can put my 2 cents in. The fact is this, alright? We got the U.S. 4th Amendment and the 9th Amendment, okay? And in the Florida perspective, we have Article 1, Section 2, Basic Rights, which is very equivalent to the 9th Amendment, and Article 1, Section 12, alright, which is equivalent to the 4th Amendment. Cut and dry, null and void. And what's really funny, like they could just break into anyone's homes, okay, but they have this corporation sign this agreement. Where do you get the ideas from? Is your favorite movie Rollerball, and Nathaniel is your mentor who runs the corporate planet? The truth of the matter is, my friends, this is their version. They will say, oh, we're fighting terrorists, the war on terror. That would be their excuse. Plus, they want to say that 9/11, because of 9/11. So, is an excuse for everything? Unacceptable. And I know even down here in Broward County, they do have a resolution that nullifies the USA Patriot Act and the Domestic Security Act, and that includes the right to privacy. And hopefully the American Civil Liberties Union fight for this, and everyone should get involved on this particular issue, even if you disagree with them or not. But this is very common. It goes to everyone. It doesn't matter what your political views are. The right to privacy is essential on the great state of Florida and the United States of America. So I'm gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be right back as soon as possible. All right, sorry about that. Nature was calling. But yeah, so this is next article I'm gonna be narrating is by a gentleman named Ben Crystal, and you can get this on his website as well, personalliberty.com. It's entitled Government School Daze. Alright, let's continue. We see the horror unfold every day across the nation. Government-run schools have become war zones. Despite establishing gun-free zones from San Francisco to Sandy Hook and back, the bureaucrats have failed to provide adequate protection for our children. In a world beset by people who cares as much about gun-free zones and anti-gun laws as they do for the lives of their victims. Thank the Savior for the 9th U.S. Court of Appeals last week upheld a lower court's rulings that schools have a vested interest in ensuring the safest environment possible and can move to quash the dangers by forbidding students from hyping that internationally despised symbol of intolerance and hate, the American flag. Specifically, the court ruled that the Morgan Hill Unified School District of Morgan Hill, California, did not violate students' right to due process and rejected the part of the students' claim. It also rejected the students' equal protection claim because the record demonstrates that students' shirts might reasonably have led school authorities to forecast substantial disruption of or material interference with school activities, barring students from displaying the American flag out of fear that it might take the Mexican kids go local. Ay caramba, as if that judicial tomfoolery weren't funny enough. Cinco de Mayo isn't actually Mexican Independence Day. It is not even a national holiday in Mexico, where Independence Day occurs on September 16th. Yep, he's right on the money. The 9th U.S. District Court of Appeals ruled that American kids can't wear the American flag in American schools paid for by the American people on American soil, lest they offend the Mexicans who came to America voluntarily during their own celebration of the wrong holiday. The fact that the previous sentence is true isn't half as terrifying as the fact that some of the top jurists in the nation think it makes perfect sense. Don't get me wrong, I like Cinco de Mayo for the month of May. The grocery store discounts 6 packs of Mexican beer and pizza joint down. And the pizza joint down the way offers this delicious taco pizza thing. Also, I can shoot the grade 8 in a sombrero while referring to it as El Ocho Magnifico. If Thomas, Ricardo, and Geraldo want to mark May 5th as a day to get together before study hall and remnants about the good old days back in San Martin, Texamucalin de la Zapatista, they're welcome to it. I'll even get them an ole for effort. But rather, Thomas, Ricardo, and Geraldo ventured here legally or illegally. They came to the United States because they believe it represented an opportunity for a better life than the one they left behind. Yet the flag of their adopted nation, the shiny beacon of liberty that drew out of the darkness of low pay, institutionalized corruption, and undrinkable tap water, so enrages them that they want to give the Alamo treatment to the next kids that they see wearing it on a t-shirt. Hey, let's begin in 30 million to 40 million more people like that. They seem so grateful. What they don't seem to have any sense of direction is this country. They're allowed to say Viva Mexico, and I'm allowed to respond USA without losing their chapalas. chalupas over it. Moreover, the decision is actually kind of racist. In barring image of the American flag, the school and subsequently the 9th U.S. District Court of Appeals implies that Mexicans lack of the capacity to control themselves. Those same liberals who think we should grant immediate citizenship to Thomas, Ricardo, and Geraldo have a pretty dim view of all three of them. Although they don't fall to the level of pretty much anything President Barack Obama does when he awakes these sorts of court-authored infringements on simple personal expression to represent the exact kind of incrementism by which the left plans to extinguish freedom, while the president batters the walls of liberty by hurling the National Security Agency, the Internal Revenue Service, and his army of low information accomplices like stones from the trebuchet. His collaborators crawl through the justice system like sappers, digging under her foundation. Meanwhile, government schools indoctrinators simultaneously teach our children not only to abhor their own heritage, but to fear the heritage of others. I feel safer already. Well, that's a good one by Mr. Crystal himself. And, hey, I gotta say this. You come to a nation, and you get offended, what we do, you get the hell out. I don't give a damn where you come from. Mexico, Canada, Haiti, Dominican Republic, etc. Even could be Australia or Hungary, for all I care. Alright? The world does not revolve around you. This is what we inherited when I was born in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm still learning about freedom and try to spread that message. And people get offended and schools gotta get involved, like the world should just revolve around them. Too bad. I don't really give a damn what they think. And as far as I'm concerned, this could be part of a North American Union agenda as well, which was signed by George Walker Bush, Vicente Fox, and Prime Minister Paul Martin, Mexico, United States, and Canada. And like I said, it's pretty interesting here. And as far as I'm concerned, they upheld it. The 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, you upheld it. You know what? Up yours. That's all I gotta say. We should just use those buildings as an outhouse, as far as I'm concerned. Take a dump right in the middle of the building and just leave with love and in good faith. Because the truth of the matter is this too. I recommend this. Everyone should read Fellas Papers 2 through 5, written by John Jay. Talked about the influence of foreign nations and entities. And go to my past archives with George Washington's farewell address, talking about the dangers of foreign nations, entities, political parties, etc. can contaminate our constitutional republic. So I will pursue. I'm going to hit one more little article. This was actually posted by Jack Blood. Yeah, good chat. Very anti-New World Order individual with a punk rock attitude. And yeah, you go Dead Live info. And this article here was released today. And it's entitled, New Jersey Bill is Outright Gun Ban on 22 caliber Rifles and Leads to Confiscation. New Jersey has become ground zero this year for legislative battles over gun control. What will Charlie Crist do? Chris Christie on gun control, which is a link on there. The Brady campaign ranked the state third in the nation for the most restrictive firearm laws, and yet anti-gun Democrats who control the legislative are determined to go all the way to gun bans and confiscations. New Jersey's Assembly Law and Public Safety Committee was scheduled to hold a public hearing on Monday, postponed for snow, about a bill that reduces a maximum magazine capacity from 15 to 10. Since the legislation covers both detachable and fixed magazines, it has effect to banning popular low-caliber rifles. The Association of the New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs gave the draft legislation to top firearm experts in the country to determine what guns would fall under the expanded ban. They discovered that the bill would affect two Fed semi-automatic rifles because the state cannot be separated from the gun. Thus, the expert found